Hey YouTube, what's happening? It's Trophy Sally here. I wanted to jump on to one of the social media platforms that we have, Instagram or YouTube or even Facebook crossed my mind. But I ended up on YouTube because I went live on Instagram last time. So I just wanted to jump in here and chit chat with you. I'm driving, but I'm gonna park real soon. I just wanted to check sound quality as well, because when it's connected to my Apple CarPlay, sometimes the connection is kind of wonky. So let me know in the comments below how it's sounding. Otherwise, when I pull over, I'll turn the car off and start the live over. But otherwise, this is going to be a quick live. I just wanted to jump in here and follow up on Stephanie's video that she dropped recently, but I want to come in with a little bit of a different perspective. Actually, this is not necessarily the exact topic that she covered. I wanted to talk about getting the weight off once and for all, the body fat that we want to get off, getting the weight off once and for all, and doing it in a way that just crossed my mind today. Today I was in yoga and I was thinking about the practice of yoga and how much I love it and how I really could do it every single day. Jumping is my number one though, because jumping stretches with resistance against my muscles. It stretches every single muscle and joint in my body, well, the ligaments and the tendons and the muscles around the joints. It stretches all of them while putting resistance against them, which is super efficient. When we do yoga, we stretch our muscles and our tendons and our ligaments, but we're not always putting resistance against those muscles, tendons, and ligaments that we're stretching. And so we're not always getting the combo of the two, the stretching and the resistance against the muscles, tendons, and ligaments. And when we jump instead, we get the combo of the two. And when we do yoga, it's split a little bit, but yoga is an amazing practice. And what I actually concluded in yoga today was that I'm believing wholeheartedly that in order to get the body fat down to a level that we are really happy with, where we feel like we like what we see in the mirror, we feel relaxed about our look, we're not pushing towards a goal anymore because we're feeling settled, we're staying pretty stable in our weight, and we like what we see in the mirror. I'm thinking that, and I'm hoping that we're there before we get to our best trophy body potential. I'm hoping that we can like what we see in the mirror, because that's going to keep us less stressed and happier, and our hormones more balanced. But I want to help you get to where you want to be, and then to stay there and to live in that place, because you will earn your way there. And then when you get to be there, you get to feel that you've earned it, and then you get to ride that wave of what you've earned. You've earned your trophy body inside and out. And so what I believe the trophy body is a physical, mental, and emotional stable place of health, where we feel like we're in control instead of things controlling us, whether it be drama in our lives or dogma we're believing, those thoughts that come in that tell us, oh, we can't eat this, we can't eat that, we have to do this, we have to do that, we can't do this, we can't do that, and it stresses us out and it confuses us. I don't feel like we're ultimately in control. I'm hoping that for everyone that understands what true health is physical, mental, and emotional, where we can control how we respond to people when people say things to us that we don't necessarily agree with, or that we don't want to hear. And instead of reacting in a stressful, negative way, we can stay calm in our bodies and in our minds. And I believe that that's control. I believe it's control when we can have more freedom with our diet. But we want to eat healthy, and we want to take care of our bodies as best we can, but we have the balance, and we're not feeling strapped. We're actually enjoying eating healthy majority of the days of the year. But we also can have the balance where we can let loose and have a little bit of flexibility. And then with exercise too, we enjoy exercising. We enjoy putting our body in motion and putting resistance against our body and our muscles and stretching our body and our muscles. But we also can have the balance where we can rest and we don't feel stressed about it. And so oftentimes when you've potentially come to our channel, you've heard Stephanie and I talk about getting your trophy body. And the trophy body that we have talked about with you has often just been related to diet and exercise, right? Well, I think that there's one component that's missing in our message. And it's funny because I'm going to be vulnerable with you in this video and share with you what has not been working for me up until this point, because even though I have an incredible physique that I have earned, I still don't have what I consider to be my trophy body. And the reason is because what I concluded in yoga today is because I'm still missing in one of the elements of physical, mental, and emotional health. And because one of those is missing, I haven't been able to reach my ultimate trophy body. And I am discovering it in yoga right now, because yoga has me practicing a discipline in my mental health. It has me working through mental health, mental, emotional trauma. And I'm realizing now that it goes deep. Yoga goes so deep into our bodies. It has us twisting and turning and wringing ourselves out in ways that go in and don't give us a choice about what we work on mentally, because we don't know what's stored in our bodies. We don't know, you know what I mean? Like they say, I just heard it said the other day at yoga that our hips are like a garbage disposal or something. We store a lot of energy. How's the lighting in here? Is it bright? I'm going to turn the car off. How is the sound, by the way? I need someone to tell me how the sound is. Otherwise, I'm going to start the live over so that the sound quality is better. And I'm going to turn up my brightness so that I'm a little bit brighter here, because I just came into the shade and my phone darkened. So how's the sound quality? Because if it's good, okay, good. Awesome. Thank you so much, Trophy Holly. Thank you so much, CK Art. Glad to see you here. Thanks for joining me for this quickie little live. Perfect. Thank you. Who's some muses on? Love to see you here. Hi, Kathy. Thank you so much. Trophy, all of you. You're all trophies. So I just wanted to say that we store emotional trauma in our bodies, and yoga is a way for us to go in and clean house mentally, of course, physically too. And then rebounding is a way for us to strengthen ourselves in a very efficient physical way. But yoga is also strengthening for all of our cells as well. Not as efficiently as jumping, but it doesn't matter, because yoga has the edge on the mental health that we're getting from the yoga practice, because it goes deeper into our whole bodies in a way that clears out that emotional trauma. And so with that being said, that's 2 points of the triangle: the mental health and the physical health. And then the emotional health. Okay, move the camera to my right, towards me. Is that right for you? Yeah, so that you could see me here. Is that better? perfect. So I'm more centered. I like that too. So that's physical and mental health, and then physical, mental health, emotional health. I think you get mental and emotional health with yoga, but our diet is obviously the third part of this health triangle. And so I'm thinking that our emotional health is tied to our diet. This is what I wrote. I literally wrote emotional health, diet, mental health, yoga, and then physical health up top. Physical health is jumping. I'm thinking that, of course, all three need to be on trophy track in order for us to reach the ultimate trophy body. We can have we can have parts of the triangle that aren't perfectly strong, but we may not get all the way to our trophy body, but we can get really close. That's what I've proven. I've gotten as close as I possibly can. But now that I'm going in on my yoga journey, on my mental health journey and emotional health journey, because they're kind of one and the same, now I am noticing that and recognizing that this will be the final step for me to reach my ultimate trophy body, because I was not cleared out mentally and emotionally, and I'm finding that out in yoga. And it's because, like I said, we store trauma, we store energy in our joints and in our bodies, and yoga goes in and releases it. I can't say what is where and what traumas I've got, but I know that yoga's going after it, and I'm so happy with that. Just as efficient as jumping takes care of our bones, our lymphatic system, all of our joints, muscles, tendons, ligaments, organs. It's so efficient to jump instead for our overall physical health, organs, heart, lungs, right? And then all the muscles. And so I've got that handled. I jump instead. I love that practice. And I love now my new yoga practice, and I'm so excited. So the vulnerable side that, I'm noticing going to yoga that I've got emotional trauma that's stored in my body. And the reason why I know it is because I notice that I cry in yoga, and it's normally towards the end of class. I notice that emotions start to come up for me. And it's like because I've just had a release in yoga. And I also have joints in my body that are still stiff and tight in certain positions, because we're putting our knees, ankles, hips, spine, shoulders, elbows, wrists, and neck in really super deep twists and stretches. And some of my joints obviously can't bend as much as they would be if I continue with my practice. And so when that emotion comes up, I know that they're connected. And so with that being said, I also am noticing that because of the practice of yoga and the way that yoga works the body, I'm also working my body in a different way that's going to help me to attack those areas of my body that I haven't been able to make more toned and tight with jumping alone. And so can I actually truly sit here and say that, jumping is the end all? It is the most efficient, and it can bring us very far to our trophy health. But I'm thinking that a practice like yoga actually can seal the deal, because of the mental health and the emotional health that it brings. And also it ties up any loose ends as far as what isn't necessarily getting attacked with yoga. That's what I'm thinking for myself. And then the diet side is a whole thing, and if I went into diet right now, I'd be sitting here for another couple hours. But diet is a whole journey. And I feel like if we do our best to go after our physical journey with jumping, weightlifting can be a part of that too. It's higher risk for joints or joint injury, but if it's approached appropriately, it can be a part of the plan. Someone could weightlift and not jump, but when we understand what jumping really is doing, it's keeping our joints super primed for weightlifting. So I would recommend doing both. But, and then, yeah, yoga is also very strengthening for our joints and for our muscles and whatnot. But I think that for simplicity, because often we can get overwhelmed when we are trying to lose body fat and know what to focus on when it comes to really going after that body fat that we want to lose. I think that we just need to put ourselves into these practices and then try to just stay calm. So my ultimate point here is that if we're confused with diet at all and we're still working through diet, just put diet a little bit on the back burner and stay focused on the two pillars of physical health and mental emotional health through yoga or through some practice like that. I think yoga is a great practice and for that. I think it's very efficient for that. And then let the diet just sit back and don't stress over it. You're doing more damage by stressing about it than just by letting it go and staying focused on jumping and a mental health practice like yoga. Or, I don't know what other practice there is. Maybe you can enlighten me that goes after that deep trauma in the body. All different kinds of yoga can be good. I go to a place called Hot Yoga Experience in my local area, and they have two different types of classes. They have Hatha yoga classes, and then they have Power Vinyasa flow. And so I'm going to actually turn this on to Do Not Disturb. And so those are my only two options when I go to yoga. And so I more often will go to Power Vinyasa flow. And so it's just movement into the warriors and the back, reverse warriors and all. I don't even know all the names of the poses, but that's the practice I'm doing. But I know that there are other kinds of yoga practices that could do the same work on our bodies mentally and emotionally and a little bit physically. I know that the Power Vinyasa flow works heavily on our physical health too. And I think that's an added bonus. Like, why not get into a yoga practice that also works on us physically? But if we don't need that extra, exertion because we're already getting plenty with jumping or with weightlifting or with whatever else we're doing, just having a calming yoga practice that can clear out our mental and emotional, or can bring us more mental and emotional health, I think that we can all have a better chance at reaching our ultimate trophy body, or at least the best, greatest potential trophy body that we can get to. So that's my, that's all I wanted to, my message for today. That's what I wanted to come in here and talk about. Because, and again, if I could talk about diet, but I would be here for hours, and I want to just encourage you that if you're on trophy track with what you're eating and how you're eating it, then you could be good to go. Just stay focused on your mental health and your physical health through your movement and through your meditation, and keep going. Because consistency is the key. But if you have any confusion about diet, just dive into your physical and your mental and emotional health through two practices, jumping and yoga, or if you're weightlifting or whatever, just dive in and put the diet stress on the back burner, and then do your research, study, learn, educate yourself, and notice that you will find your flow, especially if you're distracted from this. You don't want to be stressed out about, you want to distract yourself from that stress. Okay, just a couple questions here. I'm weightlifting 3 days a week and doing I jump and sit workout 6 days a week. That sounds so awesome, Jeff. So you're getting that pump, and I love that because I now am weightlifting as well, and I'm just pushing and pulling weights and having fun and exploring and playing, and I feel like it is charging up my muscles in a really super fun new way, and I'm here for it. I think that the more movement that we do, the more fun that we jump into on a daily basis is the better, especially because we're playing, and there is no limit on playing. And I hope that we all can break free from this idea that we can only, that 30 minutes a day is all I need, and I could never do more, or else now I'm being put into a category of you exercise too much. Yeah, well, we all should be moving more because most of us are potentially sitting in our jobs, or we are scrolling on social media, which didn't used to exist, or we're watching TV, which is something that is not necessarily helping our health unless we've had a full day and we're like resting and relaxing at the end of the evening. But if there's TV in our lives, if there's social media scrolling in our lives, we need to be moving more. And so I say go do fun things and jump into fun things that you can improve your skill set in and feel that accomplishment. Weightlifting, Trophy Jeff, is a wonderful way to do that because you can watch yourself progress, you can feel stronger, you can notice 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, from today, you're stronger than you were 1, 2, 3 weeks ago. And you get to keep having that sense of accomplishment every single week, 2 weeks. You might be stronger every day. You know, it depends on how you, or every session that you go in your week. And so good job getting to the gym 3 days a week and jumping 6 days a week. If this is Trophy Jeff talking, because you might be talking from someone else's, from a family member or from a friend's account, just because that happens sometimes. But okay, I love yoga and rebounding. Trophy Carol, I love that. I love that you love yoga and rebounding. They really go, they're really good. They work well together. Yes, prayer and the word for me. That is wonderful. Clearing out clearing the mental and emotional pathways in our body and bringing that health into our body in any way that we possibly can. Journaling and meditating and praying and reading, all of those things, they organize our minds and help us to, weave through all the garbage that can make its way in. And so whatever practice that we can do here, we need to dive into it and get our minds distracted from anything that's stressing us out. Yin yoga, Holly, perfect. Trophy Holly, love that. Do your yin yoga, dive into it, become the best that you can be at your yin yoga. Don't hold back. If you guys want, or if you want to be good at something, you really want to do it daily. You want to do it daily, and I give you permission to do it daily. Because if you're jumping daily, you're doing any practice like yoga that's helping you clear out, Trophy Jeff, great. If you're clearing your mental, or you're clearing out any, bad energy or any stored trauma or stored stagnant energy in your body that is holding you back from having clarity and from feeling more relaxed and then having more energy overall and just feeling calmer and not reacting to, people that will try to bring you down, you are going to have more balanced hormones, and you're just going to have more joy for life, and you're going to wake up with more motivation to do your daily practices and stay with them. If I could do yoga every single day, I would, but there are things that come up that slow us down, and when we do have those things come up, we have to respect them. For example, injuries, we have to slow down when we get injured. And if we get super duper busy in our lives, I really hope that there can be a moment that we can take when we're really busy, that we can take for ourselves and do something. That's what I love about the jumper, about rebounding, is there is no excuses when it comes to even 10 seconds of jumping. Sometimes you're too busy to go to a yoga class, but you can jump for 30 seconds. You can, no exceptions. And so, but if we can find ourselves opening up spaces of time daily for our practices, then we may notice that we're actually reaching our goals faster. All right. Adding weightlifting this week and more sunshine. Trophy Shelly, that sounds like so much fun. Weightlifting, weight pushing, weight pulling, all of the above, so much fun. I'm obsessed. Yesterday, I did this thing where it was like the CrossFit room at my gym, and it was a rope, and I was pulling it down. First time I've ever done that. And then they had ropes, and I was throwing the ropes. First time I've ever done that. Beast mode. Seriously, but the jumping has literally built all the mind to muscle connection for me. That is the foundation of my weightlifting journey. So now when I'm in the gym, I take every machine so seriously, where I go in and I make sure that the machine is adjusted to my height, for my, where it sits, where whatever it is, sometimes the different adjustments for different things. I make sure that I am connecting to my muscles that I'm using very precisely when I do these movements, because, like I say, weightlifting can be an increased risk for our joints, for injury. And so we really just need to take it easy and then do our trophy best. So Trophy Shelly, I know you're kicking butt, and I hope that you're jumping too. All right, Trophy Heather says, I've been doing eccentric focus muscle toning for this past year. Wow, it's improved my flexibility big time, requires less time and energy. I jump and said, woohoo, I love to hear that. There are two words in the word flexibility. There's flexibility and then there's flexability. And so the more flexibility we have, the more ability we will have to flex. I heard somebody recently say, I can't squeeze my quads. If she focused more on flexibility in her legs, for example, all around the world kicking on the rebounder. I mean, if you want to go in and do yoga for flexibility, that's fantastic too. Floor stretches are fantastic. They're a little slower. Jumping is just so efficient because it's putting resistance against your stretched muscles and pumping your lymphatic system and pumping your organs. So I'm all about it, but getting the quads stretched in any way, in flexibility, in the knees and hips, around the two joints around the quads, will get this woman, to be able to flex her quads, because she's increasing flexibility in the area. So that's why I love jumping, because flexibility it happens. It's like inevitable, because the body is constantly pumping in this flexibility way, right? This is us at the gym, right? Resistance, push, pull, resistance, push, pull. This is us jumping. The difference is flexibility. You have to stretch on the side when you weightlift. You have to stretch before, you have to stretch after. You're smart if you stretch in between. You don't have to when you jump, because you're stretching already the entire time you're jumping. Okay. I'm so glad you like the advice, CK Art. My pleasure. Perfect. Trophy Tatia. That's a beautiful name. I believe in eating with the 4 seasons. Light in the summer. Wow. I am so happy you say that. Salads, local fruits, etc. The local harvest in the autumn, and more bone broth, animal products, low carb in the winter, spring cleanse. So I love that you have found your trophy way. And I was just telling Stephanie that summer is in the air. And so I also am incorporating more light foods, more watery, rich foods. I don't know how much more I will add in, but I had a smoothie today and I had some bananas yesterday. I don't normally eat a bunch of fruit, but because it's summertime, we're going for it with a little bit. But starches for me, I know that nobody asked, but they are the foundation of the energy that I require for my active lifestyle. And I feel like the fruit comes in when my body is needing it, and it's possible that because the heat now is on the rise, my body is requiring more hydration. And so overall, it's having me lean towards craving more hydrating foods. Just started jumping, love it. I'm so excited for you, because jumping releases all those good feelings, those good hormones, endorphin, serotonin, and dopamine. And so there's your brain right there, and the energy that comes from that. And then you get to now connect to all of your muscles feeling your muscles lengthening, shortening, and contracting and pumping. And I'm telling you, it's a buzz and a half. You know, weightlifting, weightlifters say that there's like the weightlifting high, and runners say there's a runner's high. Rebounding gives you an entirely different high. It's all of the highs combined, because you get that cardio high, but you in the nose breathing zone, of course, nose breathing only. I'm assuming you already are, because you're following us, I'm sure. And then you also get the resistance training high, the resistance against your muscles high. And then you also get the stretching high, that just like you get in yoga. You also get resistance in yoga, but it's different. So you get all of it combined when you jump, and when you start to really build your mind to muscle connection, because your muscles are building density. So now you've got more meat, more mass in your arms and in your legs, because your muscles are literally starting to fill out in their muscle belly. Then when you start to be able to really flex them and really connect with them at all times, you really get this sense of like, you feel, I did not used to have muscles, okay? So I am now feeling this like, oh, now I know why bodybuilders are like pumped and they like feel really good. I'm a jumping bodybuilder because I'm jumping on a super resistant mat, the Cellerciser. But I know that with time that other rebounders like bungee rebounders can produce similar results. But we just need to keep practicing, just like we're practicing. People are practicing at the gym. I just want everybody to go after their jumping journeys with the approach of just practicing daily. Just keep practicing. Don't expect yourself to be better than you are today. Just go in with a sense of, I want to practice. And so then you just are more lighthearted towards jumping, and you want to do it more and more and more, and treat it like you're a kid. There is no limit unless your life tells you you've reached your limit, but otherwise, I want to say there are no limits. Unless we overdo something and then it burns us out. If we pump our heart too much, or we're exhausted and we're not refueling our bodies with the proper diet, then yeah, we're gonna have limits. But I want us to have be able to do more. Okay. What are your thoughts, Trophy Eva Marie? What are your thoughts on using resistance band in lieu of weightlifting? Resistance bands are fantastic. The interesting thing though is, Eva Marie, you're jumping, right? So you're jumping on a resistance band. You're putting that resistance against your body in the most efficient way, jumping. So if you want to do additional resistance band training, so fun, do it. And make sure that you're bouncing a little bit around it, just because then you are waking up all of your joints, stretching out your joints very efficiently, so that when you do put resistance against your joints are already primed and open and ready for that, because resistance bands are definitely putting your joints against resistance in a way that we need to work our way up with that strength, because it's more than our joints can handle until we work our way up, right? So that's why we need to typically start with lighter resistance bands. We often think that we need to go in and start pushing really hard with really tight resistance bands. Just go easy with them so that you feel the strength in your elbows and in your knees, whatever you're using them for, or your wrists. Feel the strength in your muscles, in your joints that you're using, versus trying to work hard and feel weakness or feel fatigue. You don't want to get to a point where you're lifting and you're like, you just want to be feeling your strength, where you're like, yes, 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 yes. And if at any point your joints go, okay, I've had enough, that's when you stop. Trust in the resistance and know that tomorrow you'll be stronger, especially because you didn't push too hard. The pushing too hard just really irks me. Okay. Not that you are, I had to say it because you brought it up and I love that topic. Okay, classical stretch is also awesome. I think that I've heard of that. And there was a lady on YouTube, right? Are we talking about the same thing? It's old school. She's awesome and she's just using her body and there's nothing that she needs and she moves her body beautifully. for beginning weightlifters. Low weight and high reps is recommended. Agreed, Trophy Jeff. Agreed 1 million. 1 million%. Okay, my pleasure. My chiropractor has marveled over how greatly my flexibility has improved since I started I Jump Instead. The efficiency of jumping for increasing our flexibility, our joint health, and of course our lymphatic health for keeping our immune system strong so we can stay consistent with continuing to increase our flexibility. It's unmatched. I think that what we can do on a rebounder could take months and months and years by doing it in other traditional ways. And so I hope that more people can flip the switch in their brains about jumping. And that's what we're doing. That's what our job is to do, is to keep spreading the message, and to keep your job too, is just to lead by example. And so, and go to the chiropractor just to show off and get your chiropractor in awe of you so that they can then start to tell their clients about it. You know how it is. That would be expensive just to do that. But I jump instead. I love jumping instead. My arms look amazing again in my 40s. Everyone's arms can look amazing again with jumping instead. And then having jumping instead be the foundation of whatever else you want to do. In yoga, there's like handstands and super fun movements that I'm even excited about improving my skill set in. And so I know that because I jump instead, I can go in and do handstands and do forearm dolphin, handstand or forearm stands and all these crazy things because I have my joint health totally in check. Stronger than strong. And so I hope too that you can build up the foundation of your trophy body with jumping and then open your mind to more. You can do it all at the beginning, but know that jumping is going in and doing a lot of work on you. And so it can be your only focus. It was my only focus for 5 years. And so it can be your only focus too. And if at some point along your journey, you want to do something else, which the beginning of this live was talking about getting into a practice that can really cleanse you mentally and emotionally, do it. If you want to get into it now, you may be better off. Emotional and mental health is a huge part of reaching the ultimate trophy body because we are more sound in our mind, we are more sound in our body, in our hormones, it's just balanced, and then we can see more clearly, and we don't get caught up in the BS that's coming for us at all corners from all angles. Okay, trophies, I gotta go. I love all of you for being here and for hanging out with me. Yep, perfect. 10 to 20 minutes at a time right now is perfect. I think that, our beginner's guide says to start with 1 to 2 minutes, 3 to 5 times a day. It's because it's serious business, jumping instead, putting our bodies in this up and down resistance against our spines and our hips and our knees and our ankles that have never had resistance being put against them in this way. And then when we're bouncing, we are tilting, whether we believe it or not. There would be no way possible that we would be straight up and down, like super pin straight. So as we move around, and that's a really good thing to do. That's why when we start to lift and kick, we're starting to tilt and we're putting our spines against resistance, tilted this way. Our knees, we bend our ankles and our hips are tilted and twisted against resistance. Oh, it goes in and it digs and it heals and it brings the strength back up in our joints. And so we can't take it lightly, and that's why 1 to 2 minutes, 3 to 5 times a day to start, working our way up to 3-minute sessions, 5-minute sessions, 5 to 10 minutes, and then just for a moment, compare yourself to doing nothing and know that you're doing everything. Because if we ever compare ourselves to doing 30 minutes a day, an hour a day, which is more than enough. It's too much in my opinion. But if someone wants to jump an hour a day, they absolutely can. I went through that phase. If we compare to doing nothing, we feel this sense of pride and empowerment. And that's what I want us all to feel, because if you were not jumping, you would not be bringing this health into your lymphatic system. You would not be pumping your organs. You would not be bringing this foundational health into your joints and muscles. And so don't compare to jumping 30 minutes, 45 minutes a day. Don't compare to being a top level athlete. Don't compare to you at your best when you were in your teens. Compare to you not jumping. And so you can be so proud of yourself for even getting 2 minutes in the day. And don't underestimate 2 minutes. Don't you dare underestimate 2 minutes, because 2 minutes of pumping in your cells feels like, for your cells, 2 hours. They needed that so badly. And then you have the opportunity to do more. Play your favorite song and do more. Follow along to it. I jump into the workout and do more. But you don't have to unless you want to. But at the very bare minimum, couple minutes a day is going to bring that pumping into our bodies. But I want us all to want to do more than that as we progress through our jumping journey. Okay, trophies, I gotta go. I am so grateful for all of your comments. Really quick, is it safe for low back issues like bone on bone? We have to just start easy. We can absolutely get cleared by our doctor, our chiropractor, but we just need to go super gently and easy at first, keeping our feet connected to the mat, standing up straight with our hands on the handlebar, not leaning into it, but just keeping us straight and gently bouncing. And doing that, like I was just saying, 30 seconds, 1 minute, and knowing that we're realigning our whole body and we're stretching our spine. You can also lay on your back and have your feet up in the air and see if you can bounce this way. You can also lay on your back and have your feet up and potentially sitting on a chair. So your feet are on the chair, you're on your back with a pillow under your head, and you can have someone stand over you, just stand and gently bounce. And so your spine is laying horizontally without any compression. You know, there's gravity on it, but it's not vertical, it's horizontal. And then you can have them bounce you very gently, even for 30 seconds to a minute, and start to strengthen and heal your back and stretch your back in that really safe horizontal position. And then you can work into more stand bouncing. And so you're going to go through that period of physical therapy, of rehab potentially, or you need to stay with low bouncing with your feet connected to the mat and know that this gentle up and down is less impact than walking on cement. And so you're bringing this health into your body and strengthening up your spine in the most low impact, gentle way. So you should be good to go. But I can't give medical advice, but know that if you think about it, it seems like it's less impact than just walking around. Okay. Yay. Okay. Love you all. Gotta go. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. It's Sunday, so happy Sunday. Happy July. Hope you had a great 4th of July too. And I'll see you in the next one, okay? Take care. Lots of love. See you in class. Bye for now.